Billy Cobham, mate. He's a fusion wizard, an open-handed ripper, and an absolute powerhouse on the kit. We're taking it all the way back to 73 for this one, mate. This tune's called Spectrum. Yes, my dudes. I'm Alex, and thanks for checking out another video. The tune you just heard is Billy Cobham's Spectrum. It's in 7/8. I tapped it out at about 120 BPM, although I'm not 100% sure that it's actually played to a metronome, and let's be honest, it's wild. So there's loads of mad stuff going on in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the main groove and just strip it all back, take all the craziness out, so we're just left with a really simple framework to work around. This is gonna leave us with a groove that has the rhythm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not going to play our hi-hat with our snare drum on our backbeat. You'll see why in a second, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So what I'll do is I'll play it for you twice at half speed and 4 times at full speed. So now we got something to work from. We're going to turn that last 8th note of the bar into a little group of 16th note triplets. We're going to open up our hi-hat on the 16th note before both of our backbeats, and then we're going to fill in all the missing ghost notes. For now, we're going to play an accent on our snare drum on the 3rd 8th note of the bar. You can ghost note the rest, and to be honest, you can play whatever works for that little group of triplets. Cool, so now we got a groove to work from, and full disclaimer, it's quite an old recording, so I was finding it quite difficult to pick out the exact bass drum pattern, so I'm sure that there's a few extras in there, but you can start to improvise with it and use this as a groove to jump off from. But one variation that I did notice coming up quite a lot throughout the track is an accent on the snare drum on the 16th note in between the 5th and the 6th 8th note. So I've always counted 16th notes in 7/8 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if that's how we're counting it, the accent will be played on 5. Let's give it a go. So now we've got a couple of variations to mess about with. So what I've done for you is I've notated out the first 4 bars from when Billy Cobham starts playing. So in the first bar, it's going to be a little bit more sparse. In the second bar, on beat 7, we're going to play 2 16th notes instead of 3 16th note triplets. In the third bar, it's the main groove, the first groove that we learned to play today. And in the fourth bar, we've got our accent variation. Now because this is a bit of a longer phrase, I'm just going to play it for you once slow and 2 times fast. As always, use the notation as a starting point and see if you can experiment with it, improvise with it, and see if you can make it your own. But one last thing we're going to look at today is in the track, there's some hits that keep coming up, and they're nice and simple. You're going to do a stop on beat 1 of the bar, and then you've got a longer line of 16th notes. So with the counting we talked about earlier, you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you go straight back into your groove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 4 bars of our groove, and in the 5th bar, I'm going to go into the hits that we've just talked about. I'm going to start to experiment and improvise a little bit, see if I can come up with some of my own phrasing, both over the hits and in our groove. See if you can experiment with texture, dynamics, and the overall phrasing. See if you can be really strict to the hits, maybe play over the hits, fill into or fill out of the hits. The most important thing is that Billy Cobham has already smashed this tune, so we might as well play it with our own style. Yes mate, so grab the notation, listen to the original and see if you can start to develop it. If you upload a video, you can tag me up on Instagram at @DrumHubTuition. I'd love to see it, man. But that's what I got for you today. So if you're digging the videos, hit the button to join the Wednesday crew, man, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.